Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about British knives. I'm seeing that many case knives on the traditional circuit at the minute. My head is twisted with them, so I decided I will have a British day today. So Saturday will be British Day, and in fact probably tomorrow, because I've so much I want to talk about that I'm going to do another video this following up from this video today tomorrow. So this is part one, British knives part one. And the one knife that I want to cover was my newest acquisition from Ashley Harrison, and it's this beautiful Barlow, which he's done the elongated bolster, because that's not the normal size. This is the normal size of a Arthur Wright Barlow. Similar in body, but this has got the longer bolster, and it makes it a slightly longer knife. There you go. It's a little bit longer than the standard. But I just want to talk about how beautiful it is. And in the couple of weeks I've had it now, I'm going to bring you in closer because I can. I just want to this is Turkish walnut. Look at the beautiful patination in that wood. Is that not just, please tell me, beautiful? It is gorgeous. And I love he has done this is Ashley and the big W, which I call the candelabra. This is the candelabra shield to me. It's got the A and S, but it's the Arthur Wright. This is a W. Arthur Wright and Son. I think it is beautiful. It's the first time that I know he's done it for me. I haven't, I think he had maybe done private orders before, but this is the first one I've got, and this just is out of this world. Honestly, it's my favourite pocket knife, full stop, at the moment. And I hope that's going to change, because Ashley's work has got better and better over the years, and it will improve because the man has so much pride in his work, and also the enjoyment of making things to a standard that's just unbeatable at the minute. I just think his standard is beautiful on that there. There's the lovely cut off at the back there. The blade, oh, there you go, see? Maybe just slightly off center. Nothing that would ever, you can see that there. It's not, it's as near as down as you're going to get it right up the hey diddle diddle. But beautiful. Look at these evil even bevels on that swedge. They are just perfect. Look how just exact that is. And it takes a wee bit of skill, do you know what I mean? That's something your average wee boy coming from school is going to be able to do. That is an apprenticeship. And then look at that beautiful filed back spring. I just think it is beautiful. And it's perfect. I can't find a wee flaw in it so I can pick it up. Everything is made it up. Look at that wood, how exact it is into the corners. Look how exact it is cut across. It's just an amazing knife. And then I'm going to open the blade up for you. This is about I would say it's a good 8 pull. Look at that. I just love an Arthur Wright Barlow, but I love an Ashley Barlow. There's something about his swedges that he is the master of the swedge, and he does it on both sides, which I'm really happy about. I do, as I keep saying it over and over again, but it's one of the things that I look for in a blade is if you're going to have a swedge, it must be on both sides. Otherwise, the symmetry just doesn't work for me. But look at it. Look how straight it is, straight out. And I mean, I'm saying that because a lot of Barlows you'll get that don't actually come out straight. It's amazing how many you would see that don't. But this is just in all manner. It is just beautiful. It is perfect in my hand. I have a large hand. It's just absolutely, and the bulbous end that you have more on the British Barlows. Not all of them, but some of them. There's a tailor's eyewitness. You can see that it's got a bulbous end as well, but you can see it, and compared to Ashley's Barlow, it's got a narrower neck. This is to me, and I know this is the custom side of his, of Arthur Wright. It's just, and it really is beautiful. To be honest with you, I I couldn't bring myself to use this hard. I'll certainly carry it and I'll take it and cut bits of string or a bit of cardboard, not a problem. But it will not get any heavy use at all. I love it too much. This is another one of his customs that I use and abuse, and it's just, you can see the state of this. This one gets used and it's been cleaned as well off and come back again. So you can see the same thing, and that's his crest on that. But I've got this one for doing heavy, dirty work because, again, the bulbous end, this has got the easy opening notch on it. Um, and it's just such a lovely knife to work with, and that dyed blue bone is just beautiful. And actually, over the time, you can't really see it on here, but yeah, you can there, I can think. It's like a reddy blue at the top. Whatever way it went into the bone, it's like a reddy blue, whichever was in that bone. You can see it there. But it's just stunning. I love using this knife. But this is my sit by the fire and stroke knife. I can't tell you how much. And having the big bolster and his maker's mark on there finishes this knife off to perfection. It really is. And I really like the big bolster. I see he has a couple of pictures on Instagram. A couple of other people have ordered them. It just makes a huge difference. Does it make a huge difference? No, it doesn't make a huge difference because the knife is going to be good no matter what size the bolster. But in this knife in particular, for a show knife, I just think that it's extra special having that longer bolster. I don't need it in every one, but I like it in this configuration, and it just adds to the classiness of this knife. Love this wood. Never had the Turkish walnut before, so this is a Kantang. Listen to that. It would take your finger off to the bone. Beautiful, beautiful knife. And this is the thing, you know, we do hear, America's probably the biggest part of YouTube. Well, I'm sure it is the biggest part of YouTube as far as knives go. Excuse me, I'm going to have a wee sip here of a dry throat. So we're bound to see more American knives, and I collect American knives, especially the older knives, the old Shatton Morgans, Queens, all sorts. And that's my, that'd be probably the biggest part of my collection will be American knives. But I just want to get it out now that the UK, Britain, Great Britain and Northern Ireland, whatever way you want to call it, but especially in England, knife making is coming back. Knife making is getting a boost now. It's it's got so now it's really quite hard to pick up an Arthurite, just a basic bog standard Arthurite. But if you keep with this channel to the end of the month, I'm going to do an article on how to get an Arthurite, how to get and where to get other knives that are made here in the UK. Because, I'll tell you a little bit today, but there's going to be a full article on how to do it for Arthurite in specific, because that's the company that I choose to be my top of the range. They're my company that I enjoy collecting, and I have a relationship with Ashley and his father who own the company, and now starting a relationship with Beth, who's the apprentice, who's near the end of her apprenticeship, and there's not many apprentices left, little messers, in the UK, in Sheffield especially. I think there's about 3, maybe 4, doing a full apprenticeship. So we've got to nurture these people. We've got to buy the knives when they come out. But these knives are just worth the money. They're just great knives. Today I'm talking about the more high-end ones, so the Barlows for me. And these are all high-end knives that are, 100 plus. Whatever scales or whatever, it all adds up. So these are 100 plus. So they're not inexpensive, but they're not expensive for what you're getting. Here's another beautiful one. This is from Stephen Cocker, again, another Sheffield knife maker. Beautiful knives. Absolutely beautiful knife. This is one of his own custom ones. He works as a little messer for another large company, the Eddington Group. So Stephen Cocker, an amazing bladesmith. I love the bolster on this as well. Oh, beautiful bolster. And this is wood. carved wood, or jigged wood, I should say. And you'd swear it was bone. If you didn't get it in hand, well, even when you get it in hand, it still has that bone feeling. Now, you can see the difference. His blade is a little thinner and narrower, but it suits the handle because it's narrower here. It has got the bulbous end, but it's a bit narrow. If I put the Arthur right, you can see the difference. It's just a bit narrow, so it wouldn't sit with a larger, thicker blade. This is just perfect for this knife. Absolutely perfect. And a gorgeous piece of cutlery. Fit and finish, absolutely fantastic. Is it perfect? No. This is the thing when you're buying a totally handmade knife. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to... These knives are made by hand from start to finish. In machinery, some of the machinery is so old, much like GEC. Well, GEC have more modern machinery than these boys do. These are still at that, what GEC started with. And now GEC have moved on and they've got different, more modern machinery. These boys don't. There is more finishing to these than there would be in a GEC. Now, GEC, as you know, is my favourite sort of American brand. So I'm not running them down. It's just a fact that there's more handwork done and the machining done on old machines that make these just an exceptional, for the price they're exceptional. Now, actually you're going to pay for it, but that's a custom. But the Arthur Wrights are an exceptional price. The Stephen Cocker is a really, really good price for a custom knife. And again, lovely cam tang. Good snap. That's what I like about the British Barlow, is the snap, that feel that you've got solidity there. Here's another company now. This is a really famous maker that has been going for years upon years. There we go. I don't know whether you can see that. This is Joseph Rogers, and you can see his signature, the star and the cross. Beautiful, and there's a whole story behind that, and watch one of my videos that's in that. But you can see that's a lot thinner. That is more along the lines of a GEC, or sorry, GEC. This is a Boker. There's the Boker, which is just a little bit smaller, but it is the GEC as well, but it's narrower. And there's a GEC, which is just about exactly the same size and the same thickness. So another beautiful knife from Eddington Knives. Now I'll put the names of these companies down below. And for Arthur Wright, I'm going to put a shop where you can order your Arthur Wright. Sometimes they'll have a batch in, they'll get a batch in, they'll have them, but they go very quickly, really quickly at the minute, because Arthur Wright are becoming more and more popular. But the shop that I'm going to give you for this is the famous Sheffield shop. And it is a very famous shop. But you can go there, and I spoke to Joanne, but there's Jane who I believe owns it. I haven't spoke to her yet. But Joanne, and what they do is they'll take the orders for Arthur Wright knives. Now, it can take between 4 and 8 weeks to get your knife. But it doesn't cost any extra money to wait. It's just money, you don't pay until you get it anyway. But you can order through that shop and you're going to get one. And that's it. You're getting a brand new one made specifically by hand. So they're so bunged up with work, they just can't even send out batches, to shop certain knives, a batch of Barlows. But sometimes you're lucky, and if the batch gets there in time, you'll be able to buy them. But just to be sure, go to I'm just going to get it right, the famous Sheffield shop. And if you go on Google, just search it, it'll come up and it'll give you all the details, and it'll take you into the shop and it'll show you what else they've got in the shop. They do other brands as well, British brands, or Sheffield brands, I should say. So go and have a look on there, but you order your Arthur Wright on there. So Stephen Cocker is on Instagram. You can go through there and order with him. Waiting list for Stephen as well, very popular. And the other two, which is this one and this beautiful one that I haven't long got. Now this one isn't a custom as such, but they're special, I suppose, special factory orders. This one on Stag, and this is one for the Cutlers Association in Sheffield, which is a 400-year anniversary. You can see that's the Cutlers mark there. from 1624 to 2024, and it's still going and hasn't stopped all them years, 400 years. A beautiful knife with a long pull. Again, it's got that thinner blade to go with the thinner stock. And this is an IXL George Washington. George Wolstenholme, Washington? For goodness sake, Steve. This is George Wolstenholme. It is gorgeous. Curly birch has been dyed. Beautiful knife. Beautiful markings on it. It is just... Now, these ones aren't as strong a pull as the Arthur Wright. And maybe Stephen's not... What's Stephen? No, it's a good pull in Stephen's. Yeah, it's a good pull. I like a strong pull. I like a strong pull. And another one I'm going to bring in is the Tailor's Eyewitness. It can have a strong pull, but this one is very middle of the road. Middle of the road. It has the ultra shiny blade. So has, I think, all the rest of the ultra shiny, except for this one, which has a satin. But beautiful knife. Beautiful shaped knife. Love the thin neck. Love the bolster on this. Absolutely adore it. I love bolsters with something on it that lets you see who the knife. And they have got it on both sides as well, which makes it even more special. Lovely fat clip point. Completely different shape. Absolutely. And when you add on the swedge, it makes it look different, even more different. But let me just get that up for you. There you go. There they are together. You can see that actually is a much more substantial blade. Although they both have about the same fatness at the bottom, this girth all the way up to the top means that he can put a deeper and fuller, bigger blade on it. I just love them both. But the swedge on that really gets me. And this big long pull, or toothpick, this long finger nail nick. Oh, for God's sake. Why do you stay? I don't know. The nail nick, I love the big nail nick because it's very easy to get into. And it gives you much more purchase on the knife. Oh, that's just, this is such a wallop when it comes down. But yeah, this is in desert ironwood. And it still comes down with a good slap. So for today, this part of it is I just wanted to show that there's plenty of knives here in the UK. And all these companies, by the end of the month, you'll realise it. There's one company who already sells a lot of these over there in the States already, and just people need to find out about them. And it's James and Company, and it's in the what is it? AAPK? Oh my goodness sake! It's one of those. Oh, gone out of my head. I'll write it down below. But it's James and Company, and they sell from, I think it's the AAPK, all about pocket knives. That's it. Yeah, it is that. All about pocket knives. And you go on there, and where the wee three lines are on the right-hand side, hit the wee three lines, and it gives you search by name. You go down to James and Company, and he does Sheffield knives and other sorts. But he got a good range of Sheffield knives, I have to say. And he can order them for you if you want a specific, material on your handle. He can put an order in through Arthur Wright and Son himself. So a really good man to go and find out what he's got in. And it's the sort of thing you keep checking because they just get them in little batches every now and then. So as I fumbled my way through that, I just want to say to Ashley, thank you. And to every one of the makers that do this. Stephen Cocker is the main man in the workshop for these. He's the head man, so he might not make everyone by hand, but he has control over the knives and how they come out from the shop. So becoming an up-and-coming famous knife maker in the Sheffield area, as is Lee White and Ashley Harrison. So you can't go wrong. There's some of the options at the higher end rate. Tomorrow we'll talk about just some of the basic Arthur Wrights and the basic Tailor's Eyewitness, and then we'll match them up against some of the that I've already showed today, some of the knives in the States, like the Case, the TC Barlows, the GEC, and the Boker Barlows. But we've got some more that we can throw in there. So I hope you enjoyed this, but maybe just for those of our cousins across the water and anywhere else in the world, all these companies will deliver to you. no matter where you are, they'll deliver them to you. But if you're in America or Canada or anywhere there that's near America, to order it from All About Pocket Knives and get it delivered from America, one, the knife is cheaper over there than it is for us to buy it here, and two, you don't have to pay the customs and big charges of a knife that's just going across America. So win, win, win. We are starting to come back in again across America. We have companies who will sell the knives to you in America if you want them. Why not? Give it a go. All right, folks, I'm away. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Saturday. Another thing that I want to just put out before I go, I want to plug myself and Justin have a podcast. If you have never watched it, I think it's something you would enjoy. It's a bit of crack. We're just talking knives. There's no complicated discussions. We're just having a chat about knives. Bit of crack, taking the mickey. But it is just usually 3 or 4 of us sitting around a podcast having a chat. Next Thursday is one that I don't think you'll want to miss, especially if you're a slip joint lover. This is Michael Duplessis I'm talking about, is coming on the podcast. Now, Michael is a renowned South African knife maker, master craftsman. He has moved to the UK, which I'm going to ask him why when he comes on the podcast. But he's moved and set a shop up, and he's now making his knives in the UK. Now, I have had one of Michael's knives probably about 1.5 years now, paid for by my own cash, not given by him at all. But I have one of his knives, which I love, and I'll show you. You've seen it if you've been on my channel. But it'll be lovely to get a master craftsman from South Africa. Again, spreading that love. There's people that sell knives everywhere. You just have to find out the good ones and the ones that will send to you. They're out there. It just takes a wee bit of looking. But Michael, I'm just over the moon that he agreed to come on the show. I'm dying to ask him about knife making and his style and how he started. I think that's what a podcast, that's what makes a good podcast. Getting somebody you maybe don't know, but when somebody tells you he's a master craftsman, you then want to find out more about him. And his knives are not overpricey for what you are getting from him. They're not cheap, but they're not wildly expensive. So there's something you can save for. There's something they're attainable. You can buy them here secondhand as well. There's just, he is very invested in the UK long before he came here, because he has a chap here called Mark Congerton, Congi's Knife Sales. I'll put that down below. Who sells Michael's knives. He has maybe second-hand ones, and he resells them here in the UK. So a man that you can get his knives, and they're not wildly overpriced. So there you go. That's that coming up. And I'll put all the names of the companies that I've discussed, All About Pocket Knives and James and Company, Ashley, Taylor's Eyewitness. I'll put them all down below where you can contact them, or you can go and search and get knives from them. Take care. Goodbye. I'm gone now. Bye.